Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Camerascore, where we discuss all things media. And today we are talking about another superhero film, this time the cousin of a beloved superhero. Although she is beloved in her own right, just not as much as the titular character Superman. Supergirl. Has the gun jammed, or is the gun still firing on semi-auto? One of the two. We'll find out. Let's first start with the positives.
Home is wherever you are, buddy.
So positives, the acting. However you pronounce her name, I'm not even gonna try and butcher that. But the girl who plays Supergirl does a great job. And then we have Jason Momoa as Lobo, both great mainstays. That third character, we'll get into that later. And the villain, Creme Fresh or whatever his name is, we'll get into that later. But they do excellent jobs. It's almost insane how well that Jason Momoa fits Lobo and how well she fits Supergirl. They both have an air of nonchalance, but a subtle care to them that is done in an exceptionally well way. The dog is the dog. He's cute. He looks cool, whatever. The visual effects on that are nice. The visual effects for most of this film are nice too. There are some little dark horror movie looking moments, but for the most part, it looks really believable. And her flying around in this fictional fantasy world, interacting with different aliens that all have amazing cosmetic work and makeup and props. The set design, for the most part, was really good. You really do feel like she's in a different planet or interacting with these different creatures with this green sun or this red sun. And it very much so looks like a normal sci-fi mainstay that we all know and love. But in this case, it is slightly different than your usual Guardians of the Galaxy-esque because the sun does affect her. And I love the way that they portray that. The green sun, kryptonite essentially, taking away her powers and the veins that pop up and the weakness you can visibly see. Whereas when she's in the sun, she looks powerful. Even with just the lighting change, you can tell there's a difference in the way she was versus the way she is now. Really, really well done in that aspect. I also do like the sound design for the most part. We'll get into a little bit of the score later, but that was done pretty well. The punches and the kicks and the flight and the whoosh that it makes as she goes were all very convincing and believable. And they added very much so to the establishment of the universe and the powers that she has. Even the cameos from Superman were really, really cool mainstays, and they kind of added to the aspects of the film that I felt like needed a little boost. But with that, we get into the negatives.
Only one of you is going to make it out alive.
We haven't been formally introduced.
Because a lot needed a little boost here. More than a little boost, to be honest with you. I mentioned the two main characters were good. Or I guess two of the three main characters. The honor of my sword and family character, annoying. Oh my goodness. People are saying she was supposed to have been executed differently and the way she is in the comics is different. I really hope so, because what we have here is an annoying little kid shouting my honor like Zuko, except the worst attributes of Zuko piled all into one steaming pile. Very annoying. The sound, really good sound design, but the score, oh my goodness. The final needle drop is some of the worst I've heard in fiction. I'm sorry. On the silver screen, as they may call it. What is the song choice? I'm sorry. Who made that decision? And that's not to say, like I said, the score was bad throughout. There were certain moments that were great. The different scores made by composers and things like that. But it's like ever since the James Gunnification of superhero films, you have to have some weird pop culture song play during a serious action moment. And I feel like I had this same problem with Superman, where we were listening to Fun, Fun, Fun while he defends Lois from these attacking enemies. I'm sorry, it does not work for me personally. You may love it, but I just feel like it is so out of place and extremely odd. And there were multiple moments like that throughout the film. Another thing, the writing. Now, like I said, those 2 out of 3 characters did well, but there's no real character arcs for anybody. There's no real drive in this story. Crypto is made sick by the same person that the girl with the sword, Wreath or whatever his name is chasing after, Creme Fraiche. And I feel like they try and make it seem like she has this change of heart, but the problem with the way they execute the story is she needs to stop him to save her dog. It's not like she grabs the antidote, goes to save Crypto, and then comes back. She never does that. She has to defeat him to save Crypto. It's like they're accomplishing 2 goals at once, and quid pro quo is not heroic. If I need something and you need something and our goals align, I'm not a selfless person for assisting you. I'm achieving my goal. I don't know how she comes to this big turnaround and change of heart, because in reality, she's kind of just going along what she needs to help save Crypto. So her in the end being like, yeah, I see things differently, could have fooled me as to why. Another thing too, these things need good villains. You don't have to have a Heath Ledger Joker villain for it to be still good. But you need something better than Creme Fraiche. Oh my goodness. Just being weird and smiling and having a million face piercings and just saying semi-interesting things is not substantial enough to be considered a great villain. Extremely forgettable, boring, and a ripoff of Voss from, from Far Cry. Like he was trying so hard to be that character. If you know who that is, then you know the criticism. If you don't, just know Creme Fraiche sucks. Not actual Creme Fraiche, just the Creme Fraiche in this movie. Yes, I know that's not his name. His name sucks anyway. I don't care. I just feel like the way they executed the story doesn't give her any character growth, nor necessitate her to grow as a character. I don't understand how she goes from the celebrating her birthday while drunk to saving quote unquote these people. I do like how at the end she did, take it a step further than Superman ever would. And I love that she has that to her character because I feel like the Boy Scout thing is so boring. That's what I dislike about Superman. So it's cool that she has that aspect to her. But at the same time, what does this do to drive change in her? I simply don't know. It's like she just decides, now's the time I'm going to be a hero. Even though I didn't really want to save these people. I guess I saved some little girls. Maybe that's what changed her mind. I just don't see what necessitates this big change of heart that she's said to have gone through, and these moments that are supposed to push her over the edge. Her Uncle Ben, great power, great responsibility. It's simply not there. So with this weak writing, the weak main character, and just an unconvincing villain, bad score for some of the film. I won't say most. It's just all these elements combined to take away from what could have been a good film. They did have the right pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to make something great. It's just halfway through, they started dropping pieces off the table and losing them, and they never found them again. And that results in what we have here. A decent film, above average, nothing terrible like some people say, but nothing great, nothing spectacular, nothing amazing, nothing that can go right up against Man of Steel and the last Superman film we had. It just feels like they had things on the table and they just couldn't put them together properly. But I'm just here for the camera score. And for this film, it's going to be a 6 to 7 out of 10. I'm sorry, above average to decent. Not the worst thing, not the greatest thing, just something in between those. But you let me know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the greatest Supergirl film ever created. Well, I guess maybe it is. The last one was terrible. I saw it recently. But is it a good film in general? I don't think so. But you let me know in the comments. Let me know what you want me to see or want me to review next. And like and subscribe.